Hey guys, it's Matt. Happy Monday, and this is Mentorship Monday. And if you guys have real estate questions that you want to have answered here on the YouTube channel, you want to shoot them to help me at DeRosaGroup.com. That is help me at DeRosaGroup.com, and we'll answer them right here on the YouTube channel for you and everyone else to learn from. So thank you for watching. Today we got a question from Peter coming from Moscow, Idaho. Moscow and Idaho. I thought that was kind of cool that there's a place called Moscow in Idaho. So welcome, Peter. Thank you for asking your question. So Peter's got an interesting deal. Peter's got a few deals under his belt, and he's getting a little more creative. So this goes for you folks that maybe have done a few real estate transactions, looking to up your game, and you come across something where there's a piece of real estate that's not at its highest and best use, that's owned by somebody. And that piece of real estate could be a piece of land, it could be a bunch of buildings, it could be an apartment building that's underutilized, but it's not really at its best use for the area. It needs to get redeveloped, not like a little facelift, not a value, quote unquote, value add opportunity like a lot of people are talking about for apartment buildings. This is something that needs to get just complete redevelopment. So what Peter's got is he's got a land and a couple of buildings that a piece of land and a couple of buildings that really just all need to get washed out and rebuilt into something that's a new shiny project that's going to better contribute to the area that it's in. And so what he's got is he's got an owner that has all this real estate that doesn't want to deal with the development. Maybe they're older, maybe they don't have any money, whatever it is. And you've got the vision of creating it, which is yours. And then maybe you've got some extra money in that. So the property typically gets contributed to something called a joint venture. And the property gets put into a JV, and it's something that's documented through an operating agreement of an LLC. So you form a new company, and this person with the land becomes a member of the LLC. You, Peter, want to become the managing member of the LLC. If you've got other partners that have credit or are your big money partners, you want to have them be managing partners in the LLC as well. You want to make sure that you're not buying the land from this person. They're not getting any monetary compensation for the land, that their land going into the deal is their compensation. So hopefully it's free and clear. If it's not, if there's a mortgage on it, you may have to assume that mortgage and moving it into your new company. It's a little more complicated. We should have a lawyer, Peter, for stuff like this, by the way, and for all you other folks looking to do creative transactions involving joint ventures and stuff. Make sure you've got good attorneys involved. But it gets even more interesting with Peter's deal, which gets us to another conversation. So that's the first thing, JV, structuring stuff with people to put land into deals that you're going to develop, and that land is their contribution. You got to negotiate with him on how much ownership he gets. The next conversation Peter has, this owner is also a general contractor, and he is also a property manager. So he's offering to Peter that, hey, by the way, my general contracting company will develop this new building, and it'll also manage it for you. So this owner, Peter, is getting his hand into your project in a couple of different ways, by the general contracting fee, by property management and stuff, which is maybe not a bad deal, but I would make sure that those things are separate agreements and it's not all part of one big package. You could say, okay, agreement one is your property goes into a development, and we're going to build it out, and it's going to be around this cost to develop. That's agreement one. Agreement two is your general contracting company is more than welcome to bid this project to do the construction, but I need to, I can tell you our budget is going to be this, and if you guys can do the job for around that budget, you get to work, and I'm going to offer the job up to other general contractors too, just to make sure you're being treated fair, and to make sure that the project is optimized and profitable. You want to suggest something called open book construction, Peter, because what open book construction to all you guys means is the general contractor's fees and all their markup and overhead is disclosed, and what they're paying the plumber and the electrician and the framer and the window guy and all that is all shown in fees directly, and their markup on top of that's disclosed and negotiated ahead of time. So you may not want to do that, but then you can negotiate how much his markup is. So that's called open book construction. You might want to suggest that. So, and the whole thing about managing the building, I would just ask him what his management fee is up front, what his leasing fee is, what his markup on labor is, and everything like that too. And that will make sure that all fees are disclosed. And again, that's a third agreement, and you want to bid that out to other parties as well. So I'm not sure if I said this, Peter, but just to say it again, make sure that his land is his main contribution. The land that he's putting into this deal, that he's putting in, is his contribution, and the equity you're giving him as part of the project is his compensation for that. He's not. I wouldn't be giving him any cash, any money for the land at all, for the project. I would just negotiate percent of the project, in exchange for his land going in, and hopefully you can negotiate where you get the voting interest of the LLC, meaning you're controlling the project. I wouldn't let him go put his land in, and give him controlling interest of the entity, because he could just push you out or give the project to his general contracting company and pull off all the equity, So you want to maintain some control there, because it looks like from what you described here in the email, a lot of the control and money goes to this guy. So I try and push back a little bit on that. So hopefully that is enough to help you. So building new buildings, guys, is a great way to go if you can figure it out, because you can reduce your operating cost, you can reduce your capital expenditure savings for the future. So if you can figure out how to do a new construction project for a long-term hold, and the numbers work, in your projections, and you can build it for those numbers, and it could be a great deal for you. So, Peter, thank you. I know it's a little more complicated deal with a lot of moving parts, but you might be able to make it work. Just protect yourself and make sure you got a good lawyer, like I said. So, thank you guys for watching. As always, if you have questions, email them to helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. That's helpme@DeRosaGroup.com. If you have questions, be sure to join our mailing list, guys, if you haven't done it already, to keep in touch with DeRosa Group and some awesome stuff we've got coming down the pipe. Thank you as always for watching, and have a great profitable week.